I hope you guys like the wig today. I'm giving you a whole different look. Yes, honey, she serves. Giving you storm goddess realness. Call me fucking Aphrodite, bitch. Goddess of love and sexual desire. Today we're going to be talking John Kuckian and his horrendously slanderous and highly suable video that he took down within 30 minutes of uploading. Y'all ready? Let go.
More money, I want your money, I want more money, I want your money. More money, I want your money, I want more money, I want your money. Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a hoe. And I'm admitting it, I won't take it back. Cause after this shit, I was a hoe. And I'm admitting it, I won't take it back. Cause after this shit, I was a hoe. More money, I want your money, I want more money, I want your money. More money, I want your money, I want more money.
Because we're from Britain, okay? We don't spill tea, we drink it. I think that no doubt he is going to put out a video at some point, and this is me and my future thinking mystic Meg premonitions again. I think he's gonna go out, I think he's gonna put a video out about how many times she has stolen content from him and other people, and everybody's stealing from me, and that I'm only trying to be nice and sweet, and I'm not an arsehole at all, and I'm not a prolapsed arsehole at all, and all of that malarkey. He's going to try and pretend like it's something that it isn't, make himself the good guy, and just because of the sheer number of fans that he has, people will follow him and believe that thing forever. Bitch! Bitch, you know I had to come through with another piece of tea for y'all. See, my big fat ass was sitting here thinking I'm gonna do a bitch lux deluxe extravaganza for you hoes. Then some tea drops. Seems like YouTube's favourite drama channel got personal? Yes, that's right. John Kuckian, YouTube's favourite little bitch boy, decided to drop a video with some very incriminating and slanderous information inside of it. And in this video, he talks about Here for the Tea and also James Charles. Seems like a weird combination, doesn't it, right? I decided that I was going to take a look into the video and figure out why he put these two different unrelated topics together. So I'm going to be taking you through the video step by step, sharing my opinion, and feel free to leave your opinions down below. But just like my Trisha Paytas video, I'm going to be breaking down the James Charles drama in 60 seconds. So James Charles is a 17-year-old student from America. He's shot to fame by doing his yearbook photos, and when he did his yearbook photos, he decided that his highlighter wasn't popping enough and decided to go home and get his ring light because he's extra. James Charles got his ring light out and he looked popping. This photo generated a lot of popularity, and that's why James Charles is the face of CoverGirl. James has a friend Tom, and he's been clapping along and really happy with all of his achievements up to date. But one day, Tom ended up checking his social media to find out that James had blocked him off pretty much every platform. Tom got angry as fuck, and not only did he get angry, he decided to spill all of the tea, and he brought receipts, bitch. Captions such as this. And bitch this. Oh ho, and we cannot forget this. Yes! Read that bitch. Bitch, that little boy came in and read him for filth. Talking about, I made you ho. I'm like, what? Basically, Tom came through and debunked the entire yearbook photo fiasco. He's turned around basically saying that you didn't take these yearbook photos with a ring light, you just heavily edited them. The shade of it all.
Girl, the shade of it all.
Listen, this shit got so motherfucking crazy that even Tom was turning around and getting all Christian on his ass, saying, I rebuke your tomfoolery, bitch. The power of Christ compels you, ho.
It seems like Charles has made a mistake showing this with James, seeing as this is Charles's entire break. And obviously that's really, really bad. That's horrendous if this is true, because it almost sort of degrades everything. The whole thing that really kick-started his break, which I commended him for in my video earlier today. It's really crazy how quickly things turn.
Listen, this shit was so badly fucking compiled together that my 60-second rundown is legit in comparison to what we just watched. He couldn't even get the names right of the parties involved. Like, the fuck? Are you reporting or are you just spilling shit? So I bet you're sitting there thinking to yourself, well, what on earth does this have to do with Here for the Tea? Well, that's exactly what I was thinking, like, why are we talking about this? Okay, so... The reason being that John Kuckian was going to put out some really intense, slanderous material right in front of our motherfucking eyes.
I wanted her to come forth to the police about something she found out about. It's difficult for me to explain something to you like this, but I feel like she came across evidence, someone reached out to her, and you know when someone is a victim of domestic violence or sexual abuse or grooming or anything like that, it's very, very serious. And someone reached out to her that she told me about, saying that there was someone that reached out to her and said that when they were underage, was grooming them. I really don't want to get too much into it. This kind of stuff really makes me emotional.
So from there, John Kuckian goes on to talk about how he's got rid of a very toxic person in his life.
Some of you may know that I cut off a friendship a few days ago with a toxic person, and since then I've really needed some time to recalibrate myself.
Now, I don't know who the fuck this guy thinks he's fooling. You can see all the way throughout this video that he starts posting actual video footage of Here for the Tea.
And I think I've said to you publicly, I don't want to engage in any sort of like nastiness and any sort of maliciousness. Just to clarify, because I realised I didn't explain this, for the past 3 days I've been harassed by one person that some of you know on Twitter, and it's just been constant.
Bitch, are you serious? You don't want to engage in any nastiness and maliciousness? Now, I can't really sit here and debunk all the information about Here for the Tea, Sam Abbey, what it used to be, and all the content that it's used to put on there, because quite simply, I just don't have the receipts. However, something that I thought was highly hypocritical and really ironic was that John Kuckian went on to talk about Trisha Paytas' video that Here for the Tea did, where she made a compilation of her crying for an entire 3 minutes.
You know when Trisha Paytas had her big mental breakdown and she was crying on camera? A lot of people found it funny and a lot of people laughed at it, and you would expect some people to laugh at it and find it funny. I personally didn't find it funny, just watching her cry. And the first thing it seems that the Sam Abbey channel did when they obviously heard about this was make a remix, which I'm sure like a lot of people would initially for shock value find like really funny, but for me personally, the whole situation, I didn't know if it was real or fake, but to watch someone sit for 20 minutes regardless of whether they're manufacturing a situation, I think they have a serious problem to sit and cry continuously for 20 minutes on camera.
I found it really funny that he turned around and said that he thought it was very mean and that it was uncomfortable for him to watch. When we all saw Amrezy have an extreme mental breakdown on Snapchat, and John Kuckian took that footage and decided to post it on iTunes to make a profit as a ringtone.
You bitches don't know how to be friends because you're all using each other as fucking props for your fake little fucking Instagram and your fake life that you're living. Wake the fuck up. Back it up, fam! And I'm getting blamed? You know
I remember I found a compilation video clip of Jeffree Star's racism. It was like 30 seconds to a minute long of constant events, and I shared it on Twitter just to see how long it would take him to get it taken down.
When you finally do get exposed, you better have something to show. She's stupid.
Me, Rich, and Karina have done the same sort of thing the whole time, and someone new joins and assumes that everything is theirs.
I find this clip really funny. The reason I find it funny is because he's now enlisted Karina Kaboom, whereas in my last video, and I'll put my Fiji water video over here, in my last video, we spoke about Karina Kaboom not really being relevant because he doesn't really reference her at all, really. And now all of a sudden he's referencing her. That definitely wasn't the case, because all the way through his YouTube channel, as far as I've seen, he's enlisted Here for the Tea as one of his mains. You have Rich Lux, you have Here for the Tea, and you had John Kuckian. They made up the core representatives of the Mean Girls.
I don't know if any of you have ever experienced like a domestic violence situation, but you know when someone starts harassing you because they no longer have control of you and they send you 100,000 messages desperate to get your attention, attacking you, praising you. That's really, really how this feels and how this looks. In fact, it looks even worse to me. This really looks like an issue, and this is why I haven't engaged with this person and I haven't given any sort of statements towards this person.
Now, I can stand a lot, and we can all sit here and have a lot of fun and poke fun into all of this crazy drama that's actually happening between the two biggest drama channels. However, what I'm not about to sit here and do is trivialize domestic violence. This is not even a joke. He sits there and he says that this is similar to domestic violence. In fact, in my opinion, it's worse. Are you kidding? Are you fucking kidding me? There are people out there who are in witness protection programs. There are people out there who are still scared of their partner to this day due to domestic violence and domestic abuse. And you want to say that some argument that you've had with some girl over the internet that you've never even met is exactly like, if not worse than domestic violence. Listen, in the words of Tom, I rebuke your tomfoolery.
I've made my fair share of mistakes in the past with name calling and stuff like that. I definitely have. I think I've only done it like once or twice, but I've definitely done it once or twice.
Are you fucking kidding me? Once or twice?
I mean, if we look at his hair, okay, for example, I mean, to me, this isn't exactly the Mona Lisa. I mean, why don't we take a closer look? Can you see? You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of the tectonic plates, you know, when they clash and they come together. What's it called? A convection tectonic plate. I think that's the one. Can you see it? Oh my God. I don't think dragging a physical appearance is really an option when he looks the way that he does. I get that you're upset, but make a valid argument. Don't attack someone's looks when they're insecure. It's really not the best way to go. If we compare it, it's kind of like comparing Beyonce to Kimmy K. Do you know what I mean? There is a difference.
Earthquake! Girl, bye.
But she exists on social media to like come for me. And I don't like, that's normal. That happens. Like, people are obviously obsessed with people.
People aren't obsessed with you. And I'll tell you fucking why. The reason why people are so upset, are so heated, are so angry at this whole situation is because we liked you at one point. We liked you. We were avid subscribers. We were fans. And you, because you don't care about your Kuckian fam, because you don't care about the opinions of the people who have uplifted and enriched your videos, you just go around blocking and deleting. That is hurtful. That is motherfucking hurtful. We're not obsessed. We're just simply searching for answers. And that's the real tea.
From my basic understanding, she's not a very happy person, and I think you can gather that from her videos. From what I gather, and this is speculation, I don't think she's that happy with her life, and I don't think she's that happy with her marriage, and that's all I will say. I don't want to say anything personal because that's not me, and I don't want to do that.
She's not happy with her life. She's not happy with her marriage. But I don't want to say anything personal, guys. Don't want to entertain that information. That information right there, that's confidential, and I definitely will not be speaking about the fact that this lady's marriage is breaking down and she has a really horrible personal life, but we're not going to get there. We're not going to get into it like that because that's what I just said.
But this person is like hypocritical. We're all hypocrites. Everyone is a hypocrite. Like, we all do things that we say we're not going to, and then it happens and we're like, oh my God, do you remember that time?
Well, I guess that's the definition of the word irony.
So then he goes on to talk about, this shit's just, honestly, it's just getting ridiculous. So then he goes to talk about a video that Here From The Tea must have done at some point. I can't see that video anymore. But Here From The Tea had reported on Kat Von D in a suspected surgery. Take a listen.
I really hate plastic surgery expose videos. I really genuinely do. I really dislike them.
Her lips are more like plump and they have more of like a nice dainty shape to them. But
you can talk about like people having like general surgery, like someone like, oh, here's a before and after, like, whoa, they've changed a lot, like, you know, that's normal. I don't see an issue with that. But to break down bit by bit what someone's had done. And this is the type of thing, like saying we want to remove unrealistic expectations on young girls, but then not openly admitting that you're having a lot more work done than you talk about.
What is going on? What is going on? You just said, but then you just did. But you just said, but then you just did.
I was very cordial with this person and I spoke to this person.
I don't get it. It's like really weird. Like, why does he keep referring to her as this person? We know who you're talking about.
With PewDiePie, for those who don't know, Felix on YouTube, the biggest YouTuber, there was a lot of false media about him and he didn't respond to it and it grew, and then he did respond to it and it grew, and it was just a horrible big thing. People will exist to make up nasty stories about you. And I think the main thing to remember is that happy people don't do that.
Now, I found this part really funny because he's actually sitting there equating himself to PewDiePie, YouTube's highest earning YouTuber. Just gonna leave you guys with that. Bitch!
There's like in people that literally devote their entire lives to spending on social media, like writing about me, talking about me, and that's fine. Like if that's what they need to do to get by, then I guess there's nothing I can do about that. But literally, it's obsessive. The people that have done this and come for me have openly admitted at some point that they're depressed. It's when people are unhappy, they project that onto you. And all you can do is focus on your positivity. You should never change your game to match them.
Okay, this is getting out of hand. I mean, I've seen him talk about some very weird, unrelated topics and then just keep popping her face up. Something in there is saying to me subliminal messages, maybe?
But yeah, so subliminal messages.
Because if we hear a piece of information enough time and we see an image, whether it's related to it or not, we're going to associate the two. It's like me saying, hey, chicken wings, and having a black person going like this. You can think what you want, but that's your thoughts. Like in this next clip. Because in this clip now, he's sitting there talking about how ridiculous they are, and then posting the photograph that we've already once seen again of Here for the Tea, and what we're suspecting or alleging is her lipple collagen injections. What does this have to do with anything other than just to bash and witch hunt this person?
I think if you look at the evidence behind those accusations for any amount of time, you will see how ridiculous they are. We're talking about things that happen publicly, things that I've always spoken about for the past 4 or 5 months, but then someone new joins the game, decides that they want to do what I'm doing instead of what they were doing previously, and then gets mad that we're covering the same topics. I don't understand, like, am I supposed to stop making my videos because you've decided you want to make them?
Bitch, we're not even talking about plastic surgery anymore, are we kidding?
Past few months I really feel like I've had an overwhelming negative influence in my life constantly, and I finally feel like I have rid of that. And if my videos have seemed more negative occasionally, I'm very sorry.
Goodbye.
I would never go after someone online and say mean things, and I genuinely feel like the only reason this has happened once or twice is because this person has been in my ear telling me it's the right thing to do.
I'm sorry, come again. You'd never what now?
And I think we're going to be investigating if we think Manny Mua is a racist bully. But then this person then uses the screenshots that they've been gathering of my behaviour against me as soon as I stop speaking to them.
Now this is one thing that I wanted to address in regards to the subliminal messages. In this message, once again, that he's showing... First of all, he posts a conversation that's clearly between Here from the Tea and another person on Twitter. But if you see where he started blurring out the names of people, he's actually not completely covered up the subscriber's name. Now, the reason I believe that he's done this is because I think he wants his fans, his Kuckian cult, to pause that video and try and connect the dots and potentially bash this person. It just seemed like a real big error to have put into a video when you've been so meticulous about the information you're providing.
In the words of Judge Judy, baloney, bitch!
This is really difficult to talk about. Because I've been trying to speak to, but I wanted her to come forth to the police about something she found out about. It's difficult for me to explain something to you like this, but I feel like she came across evidence, someone reached out to her, and you know when someone is a victim of domestic violence or sexual abuse or grooming or anything like that, it's very, very serious. And someone reached out to her that she told me about, saying that there was someone that reached out to her and said that when they were underage, it was grooming them. I really don't want to get too much into it. This kind of stuff really makes me emotional, and it's something that this YouTuber is so angry, and I'm not going to share anything private. Because 1, it's fundamentally wrong, and 2, it's like so highly suable because it's privileged information.
Now here's where things get fucked up, because here's the point where I have to get 100% serious with you guys. If what he is alleging is true, he has absolutely no business putting this shit on the internet. First and fucking foremost. Not his decision. Not his crime to be putting out on the internet like that. That is dead ass wrong and completely unforgivable. That's first and foremost. Number two, if what he's alleging is true, he has an obligation to go to the correct authorities to discuss this with before anything else. Number three, what he's doing is preventing the course of justice. If what he's alleging is true, he has 100% incriminated himself by saying that he has access to this information, he knew about this information, and did not come forward to the relevant authorities immediately.
They don't want to go ahead with this evidence because it will compromise a relationship with someone that they get information from. Because when the main priority is growing your channel and you'll play dirty to get there, that's someone that isn't going to necessarily put someone's safety first.
So let me break it down for you. John Kuckian is alleging that Here for the Tea had access to information from a public figure in regards to grooming and child molestation. He's stating that Here for the Tea was just so goddamn hungry for a story that she refused to acknowledge this as something that she needed to act upon. He, after hearing this information, decided that he wasn't going to speak to the relevant authorities regarding this and that he didn't know what to do. I, like the rest of YouTube, ended up watching this video with my mouth wide open. I found it very suspect that John Kuckian had decided to come out with this information as soon as all the shit hits the fan to incriminate and defamate the name of one of his fellow YouTubers.
And I don't know if this is true. This is not me saying that has definitely groomed someone underage.
Screw! What was that?
And I don't know if this is true. This is not me saying that has definitely groomed someone underage.
Screw! I'm sorry, come again?
This is not me saying that has definitely groomed someone underage.
Screw! Oh no, bitch. Oh no, bitch, you didn't. Now guys, I know you remember me saying that there was two completely unrelated topics that were put together for no goddamn reason, which was the James Charles scandal and Here for the Tea and his bashing of her. Now, I couldn't quite work out what name it was that he said, and I cannot 100% say whether this is the exact name that he's saying. Personally, I've got my own point of view. And you've got yours. But the furthest I got was Tom Salber. So I was like, Tom Salber? I don't know that name. Tom Salber. So then I posted it to Google, John Kuckian and Tom Salber. No search results. So then I searched into Google, John Kuckian, Tom. Ding, 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 ding. We have a motherfucking winner. So on Google, I ended up finding a Reddit post. I will link that Reddit post down below. That pretty much these people who found this information out came to the same conclusion that I had come to. The name of which he said in the video, which I'll leave you guys to decide. Now, if what he's alleging is true, and that this is a sexual assault that has been done on an underage person, on a minor in the US, he has an obligation as a British citizen to comply with US laws and tell somebody, inform the right people of this crime. And he didn't. Now, I don't know whether this was an intentional fuck up, and I don't know whether he meant to leave this part in so it was blurred, but we could kind of connect the dots. I've shown you a piece of information from previously where he kind of left something in that was quite big for his fans to connect the dots. However, he did take this video down within 30 minutes of releasing it. That gives him enough time to go over, review the information and realise what he fucked up on and what he said. Now obviously this video has been taken down, most likely for legal reasons. The video of which that I have been able to grab my hands on isn't by me, it's by somebody called Alex Sultana. I will leave their link down below to that video as well. But I think we've uncovered something quite huge. I'm going to name this video the John Kuckian conspiracy because I simply believe that he leaves certain pieces of information inside his videos for his fans to debunk.
But yeah, so subliminal messaging.
I think it's safe to say that John Kuckian knows exactly what it is that he's doing. Now, poking jokes at public figures and sending your Kuckian army out there to aggressively bash and witch hunt people, all of these things, as far as I'm concerned, are trivial. Reason for that being is that this is the internet, it's not real life. This right here, what we're seeing, is an internet drama that's got completely and utterly out of hand. I'm really struggling with this video and how to end it because I wanted to be my same bright and bubbly, sassy self. But it's really hard when we have a public duty to make sure that minors are protected. Child grooming and child molestation shouldn't be trivialized. And we all have a community public duty to ensure the safety of minors. Right guys, I find it really sad when drama can't just be light-hearted and funny. I find it even more sad that John Kuckian has allowed it to get to this place where I'm now having to talk to you guys about our duty as humanitarians on this planet for the safety of children. But on the flip side, I hope you've been able to understand and enjoy the really funny moments of this video where John has really shown his high amounts of hypocrisy. I promise you guys I will come out with another video very soon with more fun information of which we can poke fun at and say people have prolapsed arseholes and talk about bitch lucks and do all the fun things that I like to do anyway. But I felt like I had a duty of care myself to ensure that this story was handled with a little bit of dignity. So, follow my social medias, you know what it is, it's all down there as well. Make sure you leave your opinions. I'm really interested to see what people actually think about this situation or whether people came to the same conclusion that I and other Reddit users have. And yeah, as I usually say, contrary to what John Kuckian will subliminally make you believe,
Subliminal messaging.
You have your own opinion. And don't take my word for it because I'm just petty.